Hey plant fam! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This is part of my jungle, and today I am talking to you about a very serious topic. That is my plants that I will never buy ever, and then mostly plants that I will never buy again, and I'm gonna explain to you why. So stay tuned, and all that jazz. Don't skip the ads, because it helps your girl, so just watch them, just one, even for like 30 seconds. I appreciate it. Where do I start? I have a bunch of dead plants here. It's fine. So the very first plant that I want to talk about two plants that are considered to be rare or commercially rare that I just have no interest in, and I don't think I ever will. One of them I've never seen in person, so it's hard to say, but the other one I've seen plenty of times, and I can genuinely say that I have no interest in ever owning this plant, at least not for my personal collection. If I was going to own it, it would be just to grow it and, collect pups off of it for you guys, honestly, because, I don't need it. And that's the Philodendron, Pink Princess. Quite possibly the most overhyped and overrated plant in the plant community, in my personal opinion. I just don't get it. Some of them are really pretty. Yeah, all the ones you see on Instagram are super pink. They've probably upped the saturation. Who doesn't do that, right? Just to make the colors pop a little bit more. But then you see it in person and you're like, what is this? It just looks like muddy, brown, burgundy, pinkish leaves. The pink variegation isn't even stable. So you gotta fight with the plant just to keep it. And without it, it just looks the same as every other upright philodendron. And I'm really not a huge fan of the growth pattern. I have a philodendron Moonlight, I have a philodendron Prince of Orange, I have the Imperial Red. I just picked up, if you saw my Instagram stories, this Congo Rojo. I just really am not a huge fan of the way that they grow, because they start to get really leggy after a while, and then what are you supposed to do with it? You put it up on a stake, but it's not meant to climb. I just don't love these. I like this one because it was really pretty, and it was in a basket with a Birkin, so I didn't know what it was, and then I found out that this is actually the parent plant to the Philodendron Birkin, which is actually a mutation of this one. Who knew? I was under the impression that it was cultivated. I didn't know that it was a mutation. Maybe it's not a natural mutation and I was just reading it wrong, but it is a mutation of this plant, which is strange because they don't look anything alike. Yeah, it has to be really beautiful for me to want one of these, and I love how simple and green this leaf is. I don't love the muddy pink variegation on a Pink Princess. So that's just my personal opinion. When this one gets bigger, I might not even keep it. You know what I mean? It's just cute for right now. Does anybody else like that? I'm just oh, it's cute. I'll probably be tired of it 6 months from now and give it to somebody else, but I like it for now. I'm like that with common plants all the time. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of any upright growing philodendron. They're beautiful. I can appreciate them, but I just don't love their growth pattern. It's really hard to train them to look good. I like things to be aesthetically pleasing, so it's hard for me to have a plant that just is all over the place unless it's a Hoya, because nobody gets mad at these, right? Look at you, girl. You're cute with your little tendrils. Getting distracted. Next on my list, the other rare plant, or commercially rare, and that is the Albo Monstera. Monstera deliciosa, Albovaragata, whatever fancy schmancy crap. So here's my issue with that plant. It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. I have my regular Deliciosa over here, and it's beautiful. I would love the Thai constellation. I have not seen one for a reasonable price anywhere, so I'm waiting to hopefully maybe like swap or trade, eventually acquire that plant somehow in my lifetime. But I'd rather have that one over the Albo, just because, like I said, the variegation isn't stable, and there's like hair stuck to my chapstick. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's my hair or the cat's hair. So yeah, the cream on those just tends to turn brown. I mean, I have the same issue with my Mandula, to the point where it literally is just kind of almost given up putting out creamy leaves in general, because the cream always just turns brown. Like, always. So it's kind of just putting out more like greeny leaves. Kind of like that with any plant that has cream variegation. It's just, it's not stable. There's no chlorophyll for the plant to sustain itself, for that leaf to sustain itself, so it goes brown. And it's sad, because it just doesn't look good anymore. So I'd rather have the Thai constellation, where that sort of thing is less likely to happen. Plus, I like the speckled look. It's really pretty. It really does look like a constellation. The same goes for the Syngoniums. I know that there's some really beautiful like Albo Syngoniums, but any like thin-leafed plant that's Albo, I just really stay away from, honestly, because I don't want to be disappointed by it when the leaves go brown. You know, when it comes to Hoya and stuff like that, I don't really seem to have a problem keeping the creamy leaves, but anything with like a thinner, more foliage, leafy leaf, what can I say? You feel me, right? You feel me. And on that note, Syngoniums, we might as well just go there, because like, this is what happens to Syngoniums in my care. They're beautiful. I love them. They need too much water for me to keep up with, honestly. And I don't have room in the greenhouse for Syngoniums. Sorry. Literally, my reasoning for not liking Syngoniums that I wrote down on this paper is they die. Probably because they want water, Jackie. That's like a thing that plants need. Water. Moving on, another plant that requires too much water for me, and I don't think I will ever buy one again. Where are you, girl? Peperomia. But not all peperomias. Just these stupid ripply ones. This is the Peperonia Napolitan. And it used to be really cute. It's in the greenhouse. I water it. It's got all the humidity. I don't know what the hell this thing wants from me. So I'm just not gonna buy another ripple peperomia ever again. They're beautiful, but not when they look like this. Well, you know, I have been like semi-successful with other more succulent like peperomias. I showed you guys this one that I rescued from like a Lowe's or something, and it's okay. Like, it's not like the happiest plant in the world. Like, I'm not hating on peperomias is all I'm saying. I like them. It's just the ripple ones. I'm not hating on any plants, by the way. I should have like put that in the beginning. Like, everybody has their preference, and you're allowed to. That's what makes us individuals. These are just personally the plants that I do not feel the need to have in my collection anymore, because they don't suit my plant parenting methods, which is letting them dry out a lot. So yeah, peperomias don't like that. And then this next one should really be no secret. A lot of these should really be no secret to you guys. If you watch any of my plant shopping videos, I pretty regularly hate on these plants. And that would be the bromeliads, the calatheas, the ivies, you know, the really common like stuff that you're gonna see around that My gripe with the flowering bromeliads in the store, the ones that look like fishtails, because there are other bromeliads that I'm okay with. Like, I'm not mad. I'm pretty sure Tillandsias are considered bromeliads. They grow a similar way. Their blooms look really similar too. And I like those. And like pineapples are bromeliads. I mean, who's mad at a pineapple? You know what I mean? It's just really the fact that they flower and then they die. Because I bought one and the freaking flower never even opened. There was no pup anywhere for me. I'm not an idiot. Like, I know how to separate a pup from the mother plant. There just never was one. So I just feel like it's not worth the hassle. Plants that die back and all that shit are just annoying. This is like my cyclamen. I killed it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, just die, okay? It's fine. And then, of course, like I said, the ivy spider mite magnet. Can't keep that thing alive to save my life indoors. But here in New England, they're everywhere outside. They just grow on everything and they're fine. So like, I'm just gonna leave them outside and enjoy them on old buildings and fences and trees and not have them in my space. And then ferns. You would also know that I don't do ferns for the same reason. They just require too much care and attention, too much water. The bird's nest fern is easier. I did get one of those just because I liked the pot that it was in, and ended up giving it to my mom, and she's been taking care of it, and it's fine because she overwaters her plants anyway, so it worked out. It's still alive, just probably wouldn't be if it was in my care, is all I'm saying. I like ferns. A lot of these plants I like. It's not that I wouldn't buy them because they're not pretty. It's just that I don't want to be responsible for killing more plants. Like, I'd rather leave them for somebody who may potentially buy it and not kill it. You feel me? Right, okay. And, you know, spider plants. I'm always complaining about spider plants, you guys, because they creep me the hell out. I went into a plant shop recently and they were like hanging everywhere and I was so triggered. I was like, I just want to get to the Hoya. It's over there. Help me. Like, I don't know why it triggers me so much. Maybe because they legitimately look like spiders hanging and it freaks me out. The same with the rabbit's foot ferns. It's like little fuzzy feet that come out of the edges. What else? Peace lilies. I have no intention of ever purchasing a peace lily as long as I have pets, because the pollen stuff that comes off the flowers is extremely toxic. So anything that's like extremely toxic, like to a degree that would be really harmful, I try to keep away from my apartment in general. Like, I don't even want them in here. Like, the plants that I do have that are really toxic, like, I am so careful about where I place them to make sure that my cat, can never, ever get to them. So, like, my pothos is technically toxic, but he'll take a nibble and, like, throw it up and be fine. So, like, they have to consume a lot of it, and some are more toxic than others. So the next plant on my list that I do not plan on ever buying again, even though it's beautiful, is the Alocasia amazonica, or the Alocasia poly. This was my first Alocasia, and it was a bad choice to be my first Alocasia, honestly, because it just set me up for failure. This thing, I gave it everything that it wanted, maybe aside from the extra humidity, but at the time I didn't have a greenhouse, I didn't have a humidifier or anything like that, so I was just trying to keep it happy in a regular environment, and we just have bad blood now, you know? But I do like the jewel alocasias, and I do have a couple of them here that I wanted to show you because it's been a while since I updated you guys on how these were doing. So I have posted this on my Instagram recently. If you haven't seen it, this is my Alocasia Black Velvet. This is the newest leaf that I posted because, like, you guys. So yeah, she's happy in the greenhouse. Probably need to rotate her. She's definitely leaning towards the grow light. But Her leaves are coming in really big and nice and compact, which is exactly how I like it. And then I have the Alocasia Maharani, which the leaves did not come in happy and compact, so I moved it, and then this is her newest leaf. So it's not done hardening. Hopefully it's going to continue to get even bigger than that, and then I can remove this sad one. I was waiting for another leaf to pop off because the frustrating thing about alocasias is they're kind of like a one leaf, like you got one shot and that's it. If the new leaf were to die, there wouldn't be anywhere for another one to come out from unless I tried to salvage the bulb, which I'm currently trying to do with my silver dragon, who was too immature to even really be sold to me, honestly. They took them off the shelves after I bought it, and I don't know if they were ever able to really nurse them into a place where they were able to sell them, but mine didn't make it, unfortunately. The leaves were just too teeny tiny. I don't know what happened. I came home one day and it was just... So I still have the bulb in the dirt in a plastic container, and I'm hoping, because like the plant itself was still fine, like it was rooted and everything. Yeah, I don't know, hopefully it comes back. If you guys have any tips on like how to get it to come back from the bulb, like I would really appreciate it. So that's the Maharani. I love the texture on her leaves. We're hoping that this one's going to be a stunner. And then the other one that I have in my collection is the dragon scale that you guys would have seen me pick up when I accidentally chopped the new leaf in half, but it's okay because it put out another one and it's working on another one. I'm not mad at it. It's super cute. It's still pretty immature, so the leaves aren't growing to be really big yet, but they will. She's a little crispy. She needs water for sure. They like to definitely be more moist, so they're happier in the greenhouse. They can be a little finicky if you don't have the right environment for it. So that would be the only reason why I'm hesitant to buy other alocasias. I like how nice and compact the jewel alocasias stay too. Some alocasias get like really leggy and really big and take up a lot of space, and I just don't have space for them. So that's another reason why I don't really buy alocasias unless they look like this. Ooh, I knocked one over. It's fine. I did mention Calatheas briefly, and honestly that's just because they're humidity hose and I don't have time for that. Okay, you keep your crispy edges to yourself. Not here. I wanted to mention a succulent really quickly too, because I love Echeverias. Like, I think they're so beautiful, but if you do not have the right light for them, they get super exfoliated, they get really stretched out and leggy, and they just don't look good anymore. So as much as I love them and they're so beautiful, I just really try to keep the succulents to a minimum, especially the Echeverias, because they're meant to be like these cute little compact rosettes. I have one right here that's actually really funny that I've had for a while, because this one doesn't require as much light, at least in my experience. This one is the only one that I've had that hasn't gotten stretched out and died at some point in this window here. So, and plus she's leaning back, she's like, hey girl, what you doing? I thought I knocked over another plant. It's fine. So, but like, you know, they're supposed to have this like beautiful little compact rosette shape. I'm not even mad at her for leaning. I was gonna chop her, but like, honestly, come on, look at her attitude. Hey, girl. So yeah, I mean, other succulents are fine. I have like tons of like different star aloes and Haworthia and stuff like that. No issues, but the Echeveria I definitely try and stay away from. I tend to kill Haworthias too, so like I just have to be careful with which ones I buy. So the last thing that I want to talk about that I just really, it's not that I don't want to buy them, I just try to keep it to a minimum because I already have so many that I don't know what to do with all of them, and they can be a little bit tricky, and that is the Rex Begonias. So if you watch my plant shopping videos, you know how beautiful I think they are, but I definitely am hesitant to buy them unless they really stand out to me. Like this one that's just like super silvery on the front and then red on the back. They're a little hard to grow. She's got some new growth though. She's living in the greenhouse. She needs a water. And then I have this, I think this one's called the Breakdance that I haven't shown you guys in a while. She's got some new growth going on too. Super fuzzy, super creepy, super weird. Can definitely get rid of this leaf. But you see how they get crispy if you don't give them enough humidity. And this is even in the greenhouse. Make sure it's not a pest. Yeah, this is even in the greenhouse. And if I let them go too long without watering them, even in the greenhouse, they get crispy. So it's kind of a hassle. Like they really have to stand out to me, like I said, for me to want to pick them up. And then I don't know what any of these are called. I just call them Rex Begonias. That one I know because I looked it up. And then I have this one that I picked up at Home Depot. It was actually much smaller than this. It's actually filled out quite a bit. And it's very happy in the greenhouse. It's got tons of new growth. So, cute little baby leaf. That's so cute. So, yeah. I like Rex Begonias. Obviously, I have a bunch, but I'm very particular about the ones that I will buy. Like they have to really, really stand out to me for me to want to pick it up. So this was one of the first ones that I got, and I was able to not kill it, so I picked up a few more. Now, don't get me wrong, I love begonias. You can see my maculata right here in the background. She's happy, living her best life, chilling in my room. No extra humidity at this point in time, and she's doing good. She's put out this new leaf. She's happy. I've got another couple ones that you guys have seen me pick up from like Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff like that. And then I don't know if you remember, I did a Lowe's home begonia rescue, and I had to cut this one back completely. There was literally just stumps. And this is her now, you guys. She even bloomed. I think I posted pictures of her cute little pink flowers. And she bounced back. Literally cut her back to stems. You could see like this one is still not really doing much. You could see where I cut her here. This one just like kept on growing. So I don't have anything against begonias. I love begonias. I have my Linda Dawn over there too, who's living her best life. I think this is the Sinbad, if I didn't mention that. And yeah, that's it. I think I covered everything. So, I freaking love this leaf, you guys. So, that is it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me. Follow me on Instagram. Go like my Etsy. All that good stuff. Putting stuff up there soon, I promise. And yeah, that's it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you made it to the end of the video, leave me leaf emojis. I don't know. Also, tell me what plant you will literally never ever, 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 ever buy again. Because it just disappointed the hell out of you. And you just don't want to live through that ever again. I get it. I totally get it. It's okay. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!